That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
All right, hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. So yeah, we're not streaming at the usual time today because I had something to do this morning. So that's okay though. But before I get into what we're going to be working on today, which should be really fun, I think, I want to remind everybody that I have my game Gunforged available for sale. It's a great way to support my work as I'm trying to make it as an indie game developer full-time. So yeah, consider purchasing Gunforged. The link for that is in the description below. And if you do play it, leave a review. I need one more review to hit 50, which would be awesome. So yeah, you can also purchase Gunforged as part of a bundle. Right now you can get it for a pretty good discount if you purchase it with another game. And also I've got my Udemy courses available for sale. Those will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. That's also linked in the description below. And I'm going to be starting very shortly on a new course. It'll be an online multiplayer course, probably a co-op online multiplayer, so nothing like massively multiplayer, but you know, think in the range of like 1 to 4 player co-op. I'll be doing a course that covers that, so if you want to be notified when that's available, you can sign up for my email list at firebelly.com as well. So that is that. Alrighty. So what are we going to be doing today? Today, I'm going to be taking this. So I'm drawing some art for the Alchemy event in the game, which I've got here. And what I'm going to be doing is animating this. So I think what would be cool is you've got the Alchemy grid here. You put your cards in there, you start the Alchemy. They drop into the pot here, get stirred up, and then they come out the other end with the infused or alchemized versions of the cards. So I think that'll be really cool. It'll be very, I don't know, it'll just be a nice little adventure, I guess, to figure out how to get all that working. I have a pretty good idea. I think what I want to do is take these health globe things here, these waves here, and put those in the alchemy pot as well, and have that all mixed together and do some particles and whatnot. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to see how it goes, but yeah, I think it'll be fun. So, what's the first step here? Let me think. Oh, I guess I should have planned this out better. I probably should have planned this out better. Okay, hold on a second. I don't. So the thing is, well, before I get too far, hello, Happy Creeper 2. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hello, NetK. Good to see you again. Vinny, welcome back. Good afternoon, Christopher. Welcome back to you as well. Yeah, not the usual stream time today. All right, so what am I gonna do with this pot here? So the tricky thing is, I don't think that I can use... I don't think that I can use a mask here. Ooh, there's something wrong. Is there something wrong? Pot. Fix this. There we go. Okay. So we got the pot here. So I want to have liquid in here, but I can't use like a mask sprite like I'm doing for the health globe, because I want this whole thing to be able to fade out. So that's going to be a tricky thing. How am I going to do this? Huh, I should have thought about this a little bit more. I wonder... Hold on a second. I'm going to need to cut the pot up into parts, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to need to do. So if I want to have liquid animating in here, I'm going to need to cut the pot top off like this. Got the spoon here. Yeah, so I'm going to cut the top part off. And then, okay, I think I have a good idea. Oh, goodness, what is going on here? All right. Where is all this coming from? Oh, that's all part of the pot? Oh, interesting. Okay. So take this. All right. I think that's all right. Goodness. So we'll do that. And then I'm actually going to duplicate this. Pot base. I think what I'll do is I'll just take this, oops, take this, cut this out there. Probably don't want that to be there either. Okay, so there's my pot base. And what I want to do in this pot base is I want to put an outline here. So what's going to happen here is the liquid is going to kind of sit under that. And I might want to also outline in here as well. Oops. So get these all filled in. Okay. I think that's all right, because then what I'm going to do is, this is very delicate, but I'm going to take this, bring this on over here, put this below. A problem has occurred? What do you mean a problem has occurred? So put this here and scroll that texture, and then we'll take this pot, we'll duplicate this again. And what did I do? I cut it off here, right? So we'll take this, we'll invert that. I said, huh? Oh, I locked it. There we go. Okay. All right. So then with this flow in here, that's going to need to be like that. Okay. So obviously the flow, that's kind of bad. I guess. I should have cut the base up more, I guess. So let's put this here. This is going to be very tricky. I got to think very carefully about this. So this pot back, I think I'll just cut this up a little bit higher here. Wait, what happened there? Why is this line here? Oh my gosh. Oh, did I add an outline there when I shouldn't have? Okay. All right. Okay. Very careful here. So we've got the flow, pot back. Yeah, so this pot back, I think I just need to cut this a little bit higher. Cut that out and put it in the pot base there. So now this is what our pot base looks like. Okay, and then right. So actually, I may have been able to get away with not cutting up the pot. Maybe I could have gotten away with not cutting up the pot. Oh, maybe I should try that. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. I was just trying to figure this out. Yeah, maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe let's try it without cutting up the pot. All right. Okay. Anyway. Having lunch at work, good to see you. Welcome back, Red Velvet. Good to see you as well. What am I going to do with this pot? Starting Friday fun early, right? Could use a canvas group. I cannot use a canvas group because, oh, well, I am using a canvas group to fade it out, but I can't use clipping for the liquid here. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. But yeah, the canvas group to fade out is what I'm going to be using. Any tips on deciding what, when, and how to end a gameplay loop? Find it easy to start designing and creating progression, but I struggle finding out how to close the loop effectively. Like, when should you consider the player will be satisfied with his experience? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's just a matter of playtesting, really. And I mean, the other question is like, yeah, I think it's just a matter of playtesting. Just do whatever feels good. I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. That's still something that I am trying to figure out myself to some extent. So, yeah, gotta figure that out as well. Double, toil and trouble. Yes, indeed. Are you planning to finish your multiplayer prototype? No, I am not. I think that's going to be on the back burner for a while. This game is going to be easier to make. Hello, OXS. I don't know what that says. I hope it's nothing obscene, but welcome. Good morning, or no, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, Adam. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to try this without cutting up the pot first and see if I can just scroll this here. Now, there are some things that the liquid is... Maybe I'll just cut up the pot. Why not? Let's get rid of the spoon. All right. And then the other thing that I want to do with this flow here is I'm going to change the color first of all, but then I'm also going to give it an outline up here. And these outlines and stuff are just to keep the appearance of things being 1 pixel away from each other. That like negative space, I guess you would call it, outline. So when I put this here, and I scroll it like this, it'll work. Now the problem is I don't actually know how I'm going to scroll this because I need this to be masked, right? So it can't be sticking out of the sides, obviously, but I can't use a clip mask because that won't work when I use a canvas group to fade it out. You can't have nested canvas groups, and you cannot have a child or a descendant of a canvas group that is using the clip children mode, the mask mode. So those are limitations of the canvas group that I have to work around. Now what I think I might be able to do is I think I might be able to define a texture region for the sprite and then restrict that region to just cover this area here, and then I should still be able to scroll it. I'm fairly certain that that's going to work, but I have been wrong before, so we'll see. I need to take this, cut that out, paste that in the pot back. Pot base. Fill that in. I might as well just go all the way here and just fill this in as well. Okay, so now the flow will be working very nicely, I think. It looks like I still am missing some part here. There. Oops. So yeah, I think like that is going to work just fine. And then we'll put the pot back there so it gets a little bit of depth here. Okay, I think that'll work. And then we've got the spoon here, which probably needs to be outlined as well, now that I'm thinking about it. So let's go ahead and do that. What? That didn't take? That didn't take? What in the heck? Oh, it's locked. That's why. Cool. All right. So a spoon. That's actually perfect. Is it perfect? I'm going to want to increase the length of the spoon here, I think. So I'm just going to do that real easy like here. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want to give it a little bit more wiggle room here. And then the spoon here. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. All right. Shoot. Okay, we'll figure out the spoon later, I guess. We will figure that out later. Let's get the pot working first. Oh, goodness. Okay. So pot base, flow, pot back. Right. Okay. What game are you making? This is a collectible card game, roguelike auto battler with a necromancer / alchemy / medieval science theme, where the main gimmick of the game is that you can alchemize your cards together. So in a typical collectible card game, you know, you've got cards that have different abilities and whatnot. But in this game, you'll be able to combine cards together to create a new card that has the abilities of both. What we're working on today, this is just going to be visual artwork for the alchemy system, which is what I just mentioned. Can you reuse the particles you made for the orb? Yeah, that's what the flow is, yeah. Isn't a UV panning shader an option for this case? Yeah, I think so. It's just, it's not the animation is not the problem. It's the clipping this so that it doesn't exceed the boundaries. But I think I know how to do that. I think. So anyway, I think we're ready to put this in the game. So let me go to scripts, export layers. I don't know why this became super slow all of a sudden. This used to be very fast and now it's slowed down to a crawl. Azir, stop! The cats are fighting. All right. Azir! Give me 1 second. Goodness, those cats, you know what I'm saying? All right. The question is, do I have... Oh, I do have. Okay, alchemy container. So here's my current alchemy container. It looks a little bad. And by a little bad, I mean it looks a lot bad. And this is where we're going to put all of our stuff. Okay. Nope, that's wrong. Okay. Still gonna need a button. Ooh, you know what'd be kind of cool is if the spoon was the button, so you click the spoon to start it. That would be very cool. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do that. I'm gonna have to indicate to the player that that's what they have to do, but we will work on that in a second. All right, so let's get this laid out. Texture rect, assets, UI, alchemy. We've got the text here. We want to do keep centered here. Okay. I don't know if I want to continue to use VBox container here. Let's just do this. VBox container, put these two together. We're going to set the separation to something like -2. Visibility. Show behind parent. There we go. Maybe -1? No, let's do -2. Okay, so that's set up well. I'm going to hide this button for now. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a node 2D for the actual pot here. Call this visuals. visuals. All right, so we need the pot back and the pot base. Looks like a good offset to me. Let's get rid of this for now, so I can just see what I'm doing. Okay. We'll lock those. Cool. Now I need the flow. Sprite 2D flow. I'll keep this one centered. So this is what it's going to look like. Now I need to enable the texture region, I think. I think this will work. So what kind of region do I want here? How big is the width? So this is 62, and we can probably use the height of the flow. So let's do a width of 62. Oops. Perfect. And then the height, how tall is it? Eight. Oh, I probably need to bring this in a little bit. There we go. I could even bring it in more for safety, I guess, to really prevent any bleeding from happening. Cool. Okay, so now we've limited that to a texture region. So it's nice and covered. And then what we'll do is we'll go to the health globe here. And I will take this shader here. Copy this. Paste it here. We gotta make sure to make this unique. Why did that become super smooth? Huh? What? I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but like, why did that happen? Where'd all the pixels go? Interesting. Did I do something wrong? Speed. As soon as I do a non-zero speed, it gets all messed up. Right. What I need to do, I think, is repeat enabled. There we go. That's what I was missing. Okay. Okay. We can actually make this slower, I think. Wave multiplier 7. What does I do, like 15? Wave multiplier, where is that used? uv.x times wave multiplier time... Okay, that's too high. Oh, this probably needs to be negative. Actually, let's do... I like the way it was scrolling here, but this needs to be negative now too. Okay, I think that looks all right. But I am going to move this flow down a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Actually, maybe even more. Because I'm going to want maybe a background flow as well, I think. Yeah, we'll see. Outline the spoon on hover or sign opacity animation on outline for CTA. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to outline it on hover, but how would the user know to hover it? I guess I would have to add some kind of animation like you said. Hello, Yaso next. Happy to see you developing your dream game. Well, it's not my dream game, but it is a game that I'm very fond of, that's for sure. I love to see a game grow from zero to release. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad you all are enjoying it too. I have some NPCs I want to do a color palette swap on. Characters white, outline is black. Would it be easier to do a modulate in code or a shader? Modulate seems to work great, but black won't change. Yeah, black doesn't change because modulate is multiplicative, right? And so if you imagine all the RGBA colors as ranges of 0 to 1, black is 0 all the way through, and modulate multiplies the RGBA channels, or I guess the RGB channels. So if you change the modulate to red, it's going to multiply the red channel by 1 and then the other channels by 0. And if you're starting with a base of 0, then the output is going to be 0, right? So you have to use a palette swap shader if you want to change the black. Or there's another option, which is that you can have the character without an outline and use modulate to change the color of the character, and then use an outline shader that supports specifying a color for the outline. But that has problems too. Probably a palette swap shader would be the easiest thing to do. Hello, Fun B4Nan. Oh, Fun Banan. B4Nan. Hello, welcome. You need some extra padding at the top of the flow texture. It is clipping. Oh, you're right. Good call. We'll do, we'll just give it a lot of, oh, but it stretches. If I do this, it stretches. Oh, I think what I need to do then, okay, yeah, what I need to do then is I need to take this and I need to just manually add some padding here. Like so. Flow, selection, flow, export. Now, how tall is that? 15. Of course it's 15. Of course it's 15. There we go. There should be plenty of room now. Good call. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, thank you. All right, we'll see how that looks. What is your dream game, actually? I want to eventually make... This is like a pie in the sky, so, you know, you asked for dream game. I want to make a game that I would consider to be the definitive Necromancer game. The game that is like the ultimate realization of the Necromancer fantasy. And what does that look like? I have absolutely no clue, but that is like a pie in the sky dream goal, is to do that. Because there are lots of games that have great Necromancer classes, but there is no game that I can think of that is like purely a Necromancer theme where the entire theme is like you are managing an army. You got stuff like Bone Razor minions, which are kind of like that, but I'm talking like the entire game revolves around that. If I do an outline shader, if do outline in shader, oh, for the spoon or for the, what you call it, the flow. Let's lock this. Okay, so I've got the visuals in place. I might add another background flow in the back there, but let's get this aligned now. So the way that I'm going to kind of hack this alignment here is I'm just going to add a control node to wrap this visuals node here. And then I'll take this visuals, reset the position like so. And then this control node, what I'll do is I'll basically just make it bound this. So 76 is the custom minimum size in the X. And then in the Y, 58. Okay, and now I'll take these visuals here. And what I'll do actually is I'll add a center. Maybe I should change this to a center container. Let's add a, actually let's do this. Yeah, change this type to a center container. Then we add a control. So that ends up being centered. Then we add the visuals here. And then we can say the visuals position is 0. Oh, I need to center these also. So I'm going to use a reference rect here just to get all this stuff aligned. Perfect. Okay, so now I've got a center container that basically just bounds those visuals there. And so that way it's going to fit nicely into my overall flow here. So now let's see what happens when I run this. I want to see what it looks like in game. Maybe flash shader to indicate player needs to click there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Why did this get messed up all of a sudden? Object reference not set to instance of object. Probably because, why would that be the case? Well, there's a bunch of things I need to do here actually. Ignore mouse. Ignore object reference not set to instance of object. Oh, is the button? No, the button's there. Oh, board 112. Here. We're gonna have to handle that nullable there. Hello, Neozoid. Good to see you here again. Welcome, welcome. All right, so that doesn't look terrible. That doesn't look terrible at all. Actually, it looks rather good. All right, let me try a background. Let me try a background here. So we're gonna duplicate this flow here. Actually, you know what I'll do? I will copy this, create a new layer. How do I create a new layer? Shift N, flow, background. We're gonna paste that there. We're gonna horizontally flip it, and then we're gonna change the color to, let's just do a color replacement from that to that. Okay, and then just to make sure that this is all the same, I'm just gonna copy this, flow, background, selection, flow, background, export. Okay, perfect. So now I should be able to just duplicate this. I'm actually going to lock these again so I don't accidentally move them. Let's duplicate this. And you know what I might actually do is change how the health globe works to use these sprite regions as well. What? What are you, why are you meowing? What do you want? I'm streaming, I'm working. Anyway, flow background. We're gonna make this shader material unique. Bring this over. Settle that in the background here. That's perfect. It just needs to be subtle, and then we'll reverse these numbers in here. So this is going to be negative 0.01 and 15. Perfect. Lock that. So it's getting clipped a little bit right here, which, you know, it's kind of... kind of iffy, but let's just see what it looks like in game first. Yeah, I don't think I need to be super picky about this. I think it's fine, honestly. There's like, it's not technically preserving the artistic direction, but I don't think it's worth the effort to like make it perfect. Cool, I think that looks great. How are we feeling? I think that looks fine. What I might do though is I might actually move these down like 1 pixel. Yeah, that looks better. Sharima, what are you doing? Stop talking. Stop talking. We got a little interrupter here. She won't shut up, will you? You won't shut up. What? That's a Disney movie mouse, not a cat. Yeah, she has the tiniest meow of all time. It's crazy. Sorry I joined late. Do you think you'll add bubbles or particles coming out of the liquid? Yeah, I want to do that for sure. But we're gonna get the spoon working next, first. But I also, when the alchemy system works, so you'll drop cards in this grid here. And when you click the spoon, I want the cards to drop into the pot and make a splash and then like have a little stir animation and they pop back out. I think that would be really fun. So we'll see. Remember me from yesterday who asked about game dev roadmap? Yes, I do. What will be good to learn, Godot or Love 2D Lua game framework? My dream game is like Celeste, but with ancient theme. So you take this with a grain of salt because I don't know much about Love 2D or Lua, but you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say anything because I don't know anything about Love 2D. Here's the advice I would give to you. Look at Love 2D and look at Godot for the features that you know that you're going to need. So things like tile maps, right? If you want to make a Celeste-like game, you need tile maps. You need to have a physics system that can detect if the player is on the ground or in the air, which you can match up with the tile sets, right? You can add collision shapes around the tile sets and everything. Input, right? Controller input, keyboard input. That kind of thing. And also, if you're going to publish the game, I would look into the support for Steam, like SDK integration, right? So figure out all those things, do a comparison of both engines, Godot and Love 2D, and I would recommend going with the one that has more out-of-the-box functionality to satisfy your requirements. Obviously, there are other reasons to pick engines besides just how much of your requirements are satisfied out of the box, but if you're only interested in just making the game, then that's what I would suggest. Very cool, nice. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I like the outline in the foreground because the health globe doesn't have that. There's no outline in the foreground here. So should I keep that or get rid of it? I guess I can try it real quick. Keep the outline in the background one for sure. How do you change the in-game background of the scenes? I don't know what you're asking, Splat. Can you elaborate a little bit? Adaton, what does the liquid look like without the outline? Yeah, so I think, yeah, we're on the same wavelength here. I think I will remove that outline there. The outline made sense when it was the only liquid there, but I think now that there's a background, I think that that outline needs to be removed on the foreground. Also, hello, Splat. Programming Gamer, ooh, yes indeed. Bubbles would be awesome, actually. Yeah, bubbles. Super easy to add a particle system for it. I think so, yeah. I can add bubbles for sure. Never heard of love until Balatro. Godot will probably be easier and less need to deal with the complexities of C++ since Love2D is a framework on top of C++. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know enough about Love2D to speak intelligently on it. I think the outline in the foreground should go. Yeah, I'll do that. Used to use Lua to do WoW mods. It's not bad. Oh, WoW mods, yes. All those add-ons that you had to install to make the game playable. When you're in editor, the scene background is gray, but when the game is different color. Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good tip to know. So here. So you go to project settings. Go to, you can search clear. And let's see. Under rendering environment, there's a default clear color. So what I've done actually is I've changed the default clear color here to be the black color from my palette, which is not really black, but I'd call it black. And then what you can do is you can go here, click this drop down, and then select editor hint. This is the override. This is the feature flag system. I actually have a video on feature flags on the channel, so if you're curious how this works, check out that video. But you select editor hint here and you click add, and that will add an override here for the editor hint. Editor hint basically means that you're inside of the editor itself. And then I use this to switch back to this typical gray color. So what happens is the gray color is preserved as the background when you're in the editor, because I think it's a nice color, just like a neutral color here. But when I start the game, that clear color gets changed to that color palette color. So that's a really good trick to know. So anyway, this here, flow background. I need to make sure that this, gonna make this 15 pixels tall. Oops, did I do something wrong? There we go. All right, let's see. Yep. Yep. That's much better. That's much better. All right. And that's also thematically in line with what the health globes are doing as well. Cool. And now what I should be able to do is I should be able to fade that whole thing in and out with the canvas group that I have. Okay, so now the challenge is I'm going to commit what I have on Alchemy visuals. Now we got to get the spoon to work. Now we got to get the spoon to work. Which is going to be difficult, I think. I might have to change the pot background. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to take the spoon first and just extend this out. Give it a little bit of space. So the problem is it gets clipped right there. Now I could just fake it and just avoid that part where it gets clipped here. Is there any reason why? Maybe I can just do this. Take the pot base here. If I take this part off and put this on the pot back, is that going to be good enough? Yeah, that should be fine. Pot base. Pot back. There's something wrong here. Pot base. I'm getting lost in these, there we go. Okay, I think that's fine. Does that look weird now? No, it looks fine. Okay. Okay. Actually, maybe it was okay the way it was. All right, I'm not going to fix what ain't broke. Put it back. Whatever. Okay, fine. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so we got the spoon here. So now I just need to avoid over here. So I can put it like here. Okay, and then the spoon needs an outline. So I have the spoon just do like a stir in here. Yeah, that'll work really nice. That'll work really nice. Okay. So what do we need to re-export here? Pot back, spoon, pot base. I think those are the only things we need to re-export here. File scripts, export layers, boom. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Splat. I did some work in Lua a while ago, not very much, but I was never a big fan. I like explicit definition. The one thing I know about Lua is that it's a dead simple scripting language to add on top of any C# or C++ project. Yeah, I think Lua is rather popular. What is Balatro? Oh man, what is Balatro? Why use C# instead of GD script? Yeah, C# basically just because I like the structure it gives me. The static typing along with things like interfaces, abstract classes are all useful to me personally when I'm trying to structure my games and keep track of how the data is flowing. And then also the ability to use NuGet packages is great as well. But yeah, that's basically it. It's all personal preference. There's no like cut and dry reason why it's better for, you know. It's available on Steam. Yes, indeed. C# tastes better. Yeah. You can bring the top edge of the front image down to where the lighter color is on the lip. Bring the top edge of the front image down. Oh, I know. I don't think I can do that because then the liquid won't be properly masked. Yeah, I don't know. I think this will work, what I've got here. It's in Steam, but it's also free. Oh, it's free on Game Pass. Interesting. Started late today? Yes, indeed. Welcome, J-Dubs. How's the progress today? It's going good. We're about to add spoon animation. And actually, now that I think about that, I also need to do a spoon outline. Duplicate spoon outline for when you hover over it. So this, and we'll take that and we'll delete that from the spoon outline. Oops. What did I delete? Nope. Okay, let's try this again. What in the world is going on? Okay, spoon. Okay. Goodness gracious. You know what I could do is I could just make that outline appear anytime you hover over anywhere down here. It doesn't need to be over the spoon specifically. Just click in this area and it will go. Okay. So let me think. I need to re-export all this. Scripts, export layers. It's a neat on-screen display for messages you are reading. Maybe think about something like that for my streams. Yeah. It's an app called Social Stream Ninja, which is very good. I don't know why I did that. Open up the add node and searched spoon. I'm looking for the spoon node. Anyway. -8. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Cool. Look at that. Look at how juicy that looks. Anyone want some spoon? Okay. Perfect. Looks great. It's kind of cool that the spoon actually overlaps with the alchemy grid here. I might just keep that. That makes it look a lot more organic. As long as it's not obstructing anything, which it might. I guess it depends on what the separation is here. Put it back to 16, I suppose. Okay, all right. So that looks fine. And well, this will be invisible by default. Look at that. All right. I'm going to call this input control. This actually needs to have stop on the mouse. Why can't I see the outline? Oh, right. Let's do ignore here. Change this back to control. We'll call this one input container. Stop on the mouse. We might want to make this bigger, actually. Well, we'll figure that out later. Center container, rather input container dot GUI input plus equals on GUI input. Input event, EVT. Nope, I don't want this. If EVT.isAction pressed, game constants dot action click left, handle pressed, then we're going to do this input container dot mouse entered on mouse entered. Input container dot mouse exited on mouse exited. What we need here now is we need the private sprite 2D spoon outline. Cool. Mark this as unique so we can access that. Board.canDropCards equals false. Has completed alchemy. So here, if has completed alchemy, return. So we're going to just check that lock, make sure that haven't completed the alchemy to handle these things. We are going to need to set the spoon outline.visible to false. All right, so the other thing that I'm going to do is pick events here. Events 0 dot or equals event type dot alchemy. So we're going to force alchemy. Let's see what happens. So it should be functional now. It's not going to have any animations or anything, but it will work. At least it should in principle. Alchemize cards. Boom. So now I can hover over this. I do need to probably mask the spoon area too, because that's kind of confusing. I do like how it's a little bit overlapping though, but I may not be able to accomplish that. We'll see. So we can alchemize these things together. Click this, boom, and we get our alchemy output. And you can take that. That's very cool. I like how organic that is, but if I'm going to make this clickable too, I can't have that overlapping with another clickable area on the board because that's just going to feel weird. So yeah, I might need to... Anyway, if I click this multiple times, it doesn't do anything. Cool. And then we'll fade that out when we're done with it. So let's get that in order here. This Y, we'll just make this 76 as well. And we'll take this visuals here. Put another reference rect here so I can just see what I'm doing. Take this visuals here and just move this down. Yeah. So now it's covering most of it. So what I can do now is I can reduce this VBox container to like 8 or something. The most important thing is that this input area should not overlap this input area because the mouse events need to be handled differently. So there's going to be a tiny place right here where you're not going to be able to click on the spoon. But I can still get a little bit of that overlap there. And we'll also add like a highlight or something, like click here or whatever. I don't know, we'll see. I think I'll buy your Vampire Survivors course on Udemy. You seem like a chill dude. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that will definitely help me. And I also have a new course that I'll be working on soon. That'll be coming out. So stay tuned for that. I've been building out a bunch of my own control widgets using StreamerBot C# and some external apps. Kind of want to see where I can take it. Yeah, I think more streamer tools are always helpful. I always wanted to make, like, I thought it would be fun to do a YouTube video where I make like a stream game with Godot engine where, like, based on the people who are in the chat, there's like little avatars on the screen. You see some streamers do that. I think it would be a fun project. And then it might be fun just to have that. Like, I can imagine little avatars for all of you people here just running along the bottom of the screen in that empty space there. I think that'd be really fun. If they had like little automated like combat battles and stuff, that'd be super cool. The spoon is forking beautiful, very knife. It's ridiculous. I've started setting up the base of a replay system for my game, and now I'm currently trying to think through how I'm going to handle tick rate for the server client. NetFox, I don't know if you've seen NetFox. I was using that for my multiplayer prototype. It kind of has a bunch of tick rate stuff for you out of the box, which is nice. Have the spoon move when you hover over the pot, and when you click the pot, it mixes. Yeah, we're going to do the mix animation. Moving on hover, though, that's a good idea. Thank you, Steven. And welcome to the stream, by the way. What's the course about? Oh, yeah, the new course that I'm going to be making is online multiplayer. So, thinking like 1 to 4 player co-op multiplayer. What do I use to save player data? Like, historically, I've used just JSON because the games I make are simple enough. Like, Gunforged is very simple in terms of, like, what needs to be saved because there's no, like, mid-run saving either, which is, I guess, not nice for the player, but it's nice for the developer, for me. For this game, I'm using JSON for the board configurations that you can fight. And probably we'll just use JSON for the player save data as well, because it should be relatively simple to like save mid-run in this game, because all I really need to do is I need to store what event you're on and what level you're on, what your health is, what your currency is, and then your board inventory. So probably just JSON, really. I know Godot supports SQLite, but I know there are issues with versions and platforms. Yeah, I mean, I would just use, it depends on how complicated your game is, but I've never really found a need to use anything more sophisticated than JSON, really. But I also haven't made super sophisticated games either, so that's the thing. That's the thing, you know? Alchemized cards, boom. Should I highlight the whole pot? Oops, I accidentally clicked it. Oh, soft locked myself. Wonder if I should highlight the whole pot. That might be something that I should do. Steven says for sure. All right. All right, I gotta go with Steven's input on this one. Yeah, highlight the whole pot. All right, let's get the pot highlight in place before we do any animations. The nice thing is I think I can just use this version of the pot here and just highlight that. Actually, yeah, let's just duplicate this. Duplicate. Pot, we'll just call this pot outline. Okay. Oh, it's locked. All right. Now we don't want to do the interior parts of this either, so I'm gonna have to remove that. That should be relatively easy to do though. Just take these, get rid of that, get rid of that. This whole section here goes away. Perfect. Awesome. That'll work. The layering is confusing because the draw order is reversed in A-Sprite. So I think, is it reversed in A-Sprite? I think so. So in Godot, the items further down the tree render ahead, but in A-Sprite, the items further up the tree render ahead. So it's like, it messes with me all the time. Anyway, that's not important. Pot outline. Oh, already centered. Very nice, but I'm going to do my own centering. Sorry. Okay, so pot outline, let's lock that. We can also lock the visuals here. Okay, axis is unique name. Node private sprite 2D pot outline. All right, let's see what that does. A man who stands on cookware is high on pot. Amazing. I see your two cats and raise you one Cassie. Oh, I gotta, hold on a second. Copy that. Oh, look at that. Very nice. Beautiful dog. Very nice. Makes it more accessible. The pot outline, yeah. That's SQLite mention reminds me of when I was in a previous job and had to include binaries for SQLite and on Android, since each Android version comes with a built-in SQLite library, and the built-in was out of date. Oof. That sounds annoying. Okay, yeah, so we got the whole pot being highlighted now, which is great. So that's much better. Okay, cool. That looks much nicer. So yeah, we want to move the spoon during the highlight as well. So let's put this in here though and just make sure this works. Okay, the highlights go away. I can drag these just fine. Got to figure out how to animate the board size changes too. That's something I don't know. I gotta figure that out. So do Alchemy again. Also prevent clicking. Maybe we'll do some kind of error animation when there's nothing in the Alchemy grid. Lots of details. Lots of really fine details. All right, so I think that it's functional. So that's the most important part, is functional. So now we're gonna work on some animations here, but I need to commit what I have first. So make new Alchemy visuals functional. The other thing that's going to be a nightmare too is, I wonder if I should actually... there's a way to create bitmap fonts so that you can use them in Godot. And so what I could do is I could take this font that I'm using, which is called Grandeur, and I could color each glyph like this. So that way I can just use a label instead of using a sprite for this text. Because the problem with using the sprite for the text is if I ever wanted to do localization, that's not sustainable, right? But the alternative is I load up the glyphs as part of like a bitmap image, and I manually hand color in every single glyph, which is like, I think there's over 100 glyphs in it. But then I can just use that font with the pre-made colors, with the highlights and the red and the purple at the bottom. And then I can just type in the characters that I need. So I might have to do that at some point, but I don't want to do that yet. Localization, you mean learn English? Anyway. All right. How did you search for different files inside VS Code for a single project? Search different files inside VS Code. There's a couple ways to do it. You can do Control P to open up the quick opens file window. You can do Control Shift F to search a string in all of your files. Those are the main things I use. She never barks, she just stares at you like that and expects you to figure out what she wants. Well, that's kind of good, you know. You don't want a dog that barks too much. Find in files. Yeah, that's the name of the tool for sure. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break, get a refill on my drink and all that good stuff. When I come back, we're gonna be just spending the rest of the stream working on the animations for this. So the couple of things that I want to do is when you put the items inside of the Alchemy grid and you click the pot, those cards are gonna splash, they're gonna drop into the pot and splash together. There's gonna be a little stirring animation and then they're gonna pop back out into the grid as the output. So, and we also want to make the spoon hover when you or like animate a little bit when you hover over this. So we'll do that as well. And then when you're done with the Alchemy system, we need this whole thing to fade out in the classic fade that we've been using throughout this game. So gonna try to get all that done in the remainder of the stream when I get back from my little break here. So it should be doable. I don't think the animation is gonna be that complex. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so I will respond to the new chats here when I come back from my break. In the meanwhile, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support me. Main ways to do so are to purchase Gunforged on Steam and or purchase one of my courses on Udemy. Again, those are linked below. I'll be right back in 2 minutes and we'll continue with these animations.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Three, two, one, zero, zero.
Discovery, go and throttle up. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alrighty, welcome back to me. You're welcome, Neozoid. Hello, Milan. Can you show how you structure your files in Godot for big projects? Yeah, so I'll just go over it real quick. So basically what I do is I just keep all the things separate. So assets, I have an assets folder, which contains the assets. So this would be audio and sprites, basically. Then I have a resources folder, which contains all the resources that I'm saving standalone. These include custom resources, but also fonts, materials, shaders, tile maps, that kind of thing, and my theme file, of course. And then I have scenes, which is just, these are only TSCN files, these are only scene files. And then I have scripts, which are only scripts. So that's how I personally structure it. I like to keep everything separate. I like to keep the scripts together, the scenes together, the resources, assets together. A lot of people don't like to do that. A lot of people like to merge the things together, where if you have your player entity, they'll put the player sprite, the player sounds, the player script, and the player scene all in one directory, which can work. The reason I don't use that is because, especially when it comes to assets, I end up reusing stuff a lot. And so you're gonna need shared folders anyway. So I just see fit to just start by just separating the things out, and then I can use assets in multiple different scenes if I want to, without having to worry about like, oh well, this sound is used in multiple places, so now I got to reorganize my project so that there's a shared folder. It's like, and then for scripts, the reason I like to keep the scripts separate is because when I'm in my IDE, I don't have to scroll through a bunch of garbage files that I'm never going to open my IDE, right? So when I'm working my IDE, I can scroll down all these scripts and I can just see all of them, right? So that's just how I personally like to do it. But the most important thing, I think, is consistency. If you're working by yourself, then use whatever structure makes sense to you. You want to end up in a situation where you intuitively know where to find things because it makes sense to you. You don't want to, I don't think you necessarily want to use a design or a structure sort of paradigm that somebody else came up with if it doesn't make sense to you. If it's not intuitive where you can find a resource in your project, that's just going to slow you down. So that's my opinion on it. Anyway, just bought the course, seen you in a couple months, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, Filippo. Thank you. I've been using Godot for over a year and I'm looking for something more advanced. I saw your course's basic stuff like signals and also saving data and other things. Just wondering, if I get it, do you think there's enough advanced content to make it worth it for me? I don't think so, no. I don't know exactly what you mean by advanced, but my course is definitely targeted toward intermediate people, intermediate students, I guess you could say. Basically just showing them like, here's what an actual full game looks like from start to finish. Like that's kind of the niche that my courses occupy, is like, you know, because a lot of the courses online are like, here's how to do this very specific thing, but then the tutorial does it in a very bad way that's not scalable or not architected in a way that a final game would be architected. So my game is like, start with an empty project and then get to the end where you have like a quote unquote publishable game that you can easily extend because it has a sensible architecture and all that stuff. But it's not, I wouldn't call it advanced. Like there's nothing particularly difficult or challenging in the course. It's more so just a showcase of how to structure games. The C# course, yeah, I would say the same for both courses for sure. In terms of the more advanced C# work, the only thing advanced in the C# course is there's a heavy use of LINQ for doing querying of the world state, like the tile maps and whatnot. But yeah, that's not, I wouldn't necessarily classify that as advanced either. So I don't know. I would say I would err on the side of saying you probably won't find what you're looking for in those courses. But I also made a lot of the videos free, a lot of the lessons free in the courses, so you can always go to the Udemy page and watch those and see if it's kind of like what you're looking for before you purchase. So here, what? Right, animations. Okay, what animation do we want to do first? So we want the spoon to hover out. Do I want to use an animation player for this? Probably. New spoon hover. Reactive X noises. What is that? Okay, position. So we want this to hover probably over just like 0.25 seconds or something. So I'm just going to make this just go up a little bit here. And we'll keyframe this. Oops, I moved it over one as well, I think. Yeah.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Should just be able to play that backwards too. So hover, hover out, hover, hover out. That'll work. So let's get that in place. Private static read-only string name anim spoon hover. Spoon hover. Let's grab a reference to the animation player. Animation player.play spoon hover. Animation player.play backwards. Anim spoon hover. Okay, let's see if that works. ReactiveX relates to where the link pattern originates, and the ReactiveX libraries include extras for patterns in many different languages. Oh, I see. Stream-based programming, I guess. Gotcha. All right, that's looking great. Maybe it should be a little bit snappier, although it kind of looks floaty, which is, I guess, fine. Yeah, that's very cool. I'm just making sure the animations don't break when I do this kind of stuff. Okay, that works. So I'm going to make an error animation as well. I'm going to take this visuals here, create that, and I'm just going to do this real quick. Let's do another 0.25. I'm going to manually do these, I guess. That needs to be faster. Okay, that'll work. So play the animation, the error animation where there's nothing in the grid. Private static read only string name anim error. if cards dot length is less than 2, animation player dot play anim error return. This might be a problem putting these as the same. I might need a different animation player for the spoon, actually. Probably shouldn't make them both the same. Yeah, because that can interrupt the animations are clashing together. Okay. Okay, well, I have to add some other kind of feedback to the player so they know they have to add the, add cards to the grid. But let's duplicate this, actually. We're going to call this one Spoon Animation Player. We're going to go to Manage Animations. We'll delete the error animation from this one. And then Animation Player 2, Manage Animations. Oh, shoot. Okay. Manage Animations. How do I do this? Make unique, make unique, make unique, make unique. Delete that. This. Okay. Let's get rid of that one. Animation remove. Nope. Actually, yeah. Animation remove that. Okay. So we got the animations migrated over. We'll call this one pot animation player, I guess. Okay. So this will be spoon animation player. I'm calling it a spoon, but there's really nothing that indicates that it's a spoon because it's like in the soup. That's fine. Pot animation player. Pot animation player. Spoon animation player. It does look nice, thank you. Good evening, Camillo. Afternoon here, but probably evening for you. Man, this reminds me I need to figure out Blender animations again. Ugh, yeah. It's always kind of daunting when you're trying to learn new software. Didn't make unique. Yeah. It's always, that's the main thing that bites people, including people even with my level of experience with Godot. It's like, you just gotta remember, always at the top of your mind, resources, make them unique. Indeed, I was looking into the state of animation tree in IK yesterday. Yeah, that is one area of Godot where I'm not very familiar with because I never use it, the animation tree and inverse kinematics and stuff. Now I have Soundgarden stuck in my head, I'm sorry. Less learning, just new relearning after a couple years. Oh, yeah. That's not terrible. Usually it comes back to you pretty quickly, at least in my experience. Okay, so we got 2 animations in place. Shurima, what are you doing? Mouse cat. Okay, so let's do the stir animation now. Spoon man. Spoon. Let's do stir. We don't want to make these animations too long either, because the player's going to be sitting there watching the animation. So position. We're going to add a little bit of rotation to this as well. So we'll see. We'll start with like a 1 second animation here. Stir it that way and then come back to where it's supposed to be, which is what? I kind of wish that, I don't know how this would actually be done. You can do it with extra nodes, but I kind of wish that you could do like a 0-based animation where the animation positions are like additive to the original starting position of the spoon. Because the problem here is like, this is the default position of the spoon. It's 14, -20. So if I ever wanted to reorient how the spoon is sitting here, I'd have to update all these keyframes as well to account for the new sitting position. Now again, you can sort of address that by, I could introduce another node 2D here that's like spoon root, which contains the spoon position, and then the spoon can be a zero-based position within that. But then that just kind of like clutters up the hierarchy a little bit. I do that sometimes though, but it's maybe it would be a good idea in this case actually, but oh well, too late. Oh well, too late. Oh, that looks so smooth. Look at that. Stirring it up. Ooh, look at that. Very simple animation. Wow. Have you seen a better stir animation in your life? Yep. So this is actually going to happen in sequence. So the cards actually need to be, okay, this is going to be the tricky part, is the cards need to be tweened into the pot. There's a lot of parts going on. So the cards need to be tweened into the pot and trigger some like splash particles when they enter. Ooh, that's going to be real tricky actually. I have a test card just for this purpose. So what's going to happen is the test card is actually going to be a child of board. So it's going to render behind the pot by default. So what I need to do when it's sitting here is I need to actually pop it out and probably make it a child of the visuals node here. Oh, that's going to be weird. Put it here, and then I can tween the animation, bloop, so it goes right into the pot like this. You can play some splash particles, and then the cards, when they're done being alchemized, need to be spat back out onto the board. So there's going to be a lot of sequencing stuff happening here. Some of which is going to have to be tweens, which then trigger animations and stuff. It's kind of, yeah, this is kind of complex, but we'll figure it out. Are your cats Azir and Shurima like from LOL? Yes, indeed. Yes, League of Legends. Yep. I have put many hours into Azir. Just ask my friends. Many hours into Azir, mid lane. Good times. Good times. I'm working on a project and my admin is insisting our project will be better placed on Drive instead of GitHub. That doesn't sound right. I guess it depends. Like, if the project is primarily code, then yeah, it should be in GitHub. But if it's like a lot of assets and stuff, like an offset variable, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I got into Blender and Godot somewhere around 3 years or so before your first video, if I remember correctly. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. A stirring stir animation. Thank you, Jackie. That's a good pun. Adaton, his obsession with Azir is a testament to what he was saying about his Dream Necromancer game. Yeah, Adaton is one of my good friends who is I played lots of League of Legends with back in the day. We still game, but not League of Legends. Do you watch LOL eSport? No, that was one thing I never got into. I never was big into watching esports. No, if I watched any League of Legends content, it was either like Video Game Donkey or I heard this, let's see how many people know this name, this ancient name, Civ HD. I heard that name the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that name in ages. Anyway, enough reminiscing about League of Legends. It kind of feels like a... Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Never mind. Okay, so let's see. So let's do some animations here. Let's figure out how to tween these cards. That's going to be the most difficult thing. I think what I have, let's commit this. Initial animations. I'm a recovering Dota 2 addict, so these references are over my head, yeah. Well, you understand the addiction at least. I'm sure it's very similar. Okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? I was gonna look at the booster container, booster card selection container. How is this working? Card node play drop animation. What is this doing? Oh. That's not gonna work. Maybe it will work. Play drop animation from origin. Oh, I see. So this tween is what's used for the booster card selection container. So that's this. There's a couple problems with this animation though. So when I do this and the cards fly out, that's that animation, that tween there. But I don't want that to happen. Do I want that to happen? Oh my gosh. I kind of think it would be really satisfying to use the actual like parabolic motion. I use that a lot in Gunforged. The parabolic motion just feels so satisfying because it's like, it's actually physically based, so it follows a very natural arc and acceleration and all that stuff. I think that would be kind of fun to like pop the things off the board and then for them to follow a very natural arc into the pot. And then I can play the drop animation. Yeah. Let's see. There's several things I need to do here. Like I said, I need to, inside of this board, there's a cards node here. This is where the cards exist by default when they're on a board. So I need to unparent those, remove those children from the cards, place them here, really. So I might have to add another node 2D here. Animation card root, something like that. Doesn't matter where it's positioned, so I'll just keep it there. So there's the animation card root. So I need to move the cards into this node here. What I'm actually thinking about doing is I'm actually thinking about adding an export variable to this board that is like a card parent override. Card parent override. Do I want to do that? That feels kind of messy though. Card parent override. So if I added a card parent override to the board here, whenever it says add card, add as child. So I would pass in the override here. So it add, but that doesn't feel right. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. All right, so in handle pressed here, what I need to do is we got the cards, get cards on board ordered by priority. So the next thing that I want to do is do for each var cards in, for each var card in cards, private node 2D animation card root. We'll get a reference to that. Card dot add as child to card animation card root. Then we want to start the animation here. Let's see if the AI is intelligent enough to do this. For each card in this loop, create a tween that causes the card to follow a gravity-based kinematic parabolic motion. I don't know if that's enough information for the AI to go on, but let's see. Me and my 3.5k hours, yeah. Those games were so addicting. At least it was a free game, yeah. Well, yeah, free. Free. Maybe WoW with monthly sub. Yeah, WoW is a, yeah. Man, Civ HD, that's a really old one. I've been in community for 6+ years and didn't hear about him at all. Yeah. I mean, my best friend, Steven, he turned me on to League of Legends when we were in high school. And that was right after like the beta period of League of Legends, I think. That was like right when it was in full release. So we've been playing that we played that all the way through high school and through college. It was a long time ago. Catching up in DBD, 2.5k to my Dota. What is DBD? Catching up in DBD to my Dota. Can you like duplicate the graphic, hide the card, do the animation, then unhide the card? Well, the graphic is not really a graphic because the card, if I look at my test card here, it's actually like a bunch of graphics together. So it's kind of, it's not really as easy as just duplicating it, but yeah, I mean, it's the card backgrounds are separate from the card art. That's the big thing. And the reason is because there's no reason to save the card background data. Oops. Test card. So like the background is separate from the art, but then there's also these indicators here, which I'm still going to work on. But yeah, it's not as simple as just duplicating the graphic. Dead by Daylight. Gotcha. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, the AI was writing something for me. Looks great, but make the end position the animation card root global position. Thank you for making that one line change. I kind of don't even want to verify if this works. I kind of just want to test it, see what happens. Any bets if the AI did it correctly? Let's start it with one card. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it needs two or more cards. Okay. It did not work. Cool. We got some errors here. What we got going on? Object reference not set to an instance of object. Junior Dev AI. Got to go into his pull request now and see what he did wrong. Card.as, it doesn't like this. Oh. Nothing. Nothing. That null reference error was totally not my fault. It was the fault of the junior AI developer. Okay, that definitely didn't work though. Oh, see, yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did a disposed. Oh, disposed object. Oh, interesting. Alchemy container 91. Card.cardNode.global position. So for some reason, emit signal alchemy started. I think this is probably not good. Let's see. Alchemy started. On Alchemy it started. It's actually doing the alchemy. Yeah, it's Q-freeing the card here. So that's a little bit iffy. Is there a reason why this happens in the alchemy event state machine? Yeah, I guess so. So, okay. So I basically don't want to emit that signal until after the animations are done playing. So I'm going to need to set up an await here. Handle pressed. So we're going to take all this stuff. We're going to put this up here. Add the child to the animation card root. Start delay, yeah. Await task dot when all. Does this just take an enumerable? I think it should. Params task. Is this overridable or does it actually expect an array here? Well, that's fine, because what I can do here is I can do to signal tween tween.signal name dot finished. What does this return? Signal awaiter. Is a signal awaiter awaitable? Params task. Does this work? What does this do? Signal awaiter. I'm just trying to figure out how to set this up. So I've got awaiting here. Can I do awaiting I is equal to this? Does that work? Nope. Can I do I awaitable? That will work. No, it won't. Can I convert to Godot I awaitable? Wait a minute. Oh, that's a Godot thing. Okay, so how do I get this into a... Can I not await multiple signals here? Okay, let's just do a signal awaiter then. That should work, but if I do task when all now, is that not going to work? Await task when all awaiting. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work because this expects a list of tasks. Is there like how do I await all of these? How would I do this? Is there a way to convert Godot's signal awaiter into a task in C# so that I can await task.whenAll? See what the AI says. Task.fromResult. Take your time. Oh. That doesn't work. Cannot convert. Why do I get this error then? Is it just making stuff up? I think it's making stuff up. I think it's just making stuff up. Oh, I have to add. Add this helper method to the... What? What? Then your original code would become toTask. Would it be simpler to add an extension method to task where when all accepts an I enumerable of signal awaiter? Oops. Awaiters.select toTask return task completion source. Okay, where is this going to be put? Where are you going to put this? Oh, don't do that there. Reject all. Let's try this. This would be a good thing to add to my Godot utilities. Task extensions are able to check the signal awaiter source. I don't think so. I don't think so. Get awaiter, maybe? No, that's not going to do it. Yeah, I think that the Godot implementation is just a little bit obtuse here. It's okay. Namespace game.util task extensions I enumerable signal awaiter. Okay, so now I should be able to do awaiting here, maybe? Or do I need to do... Yeah, I just need to use... Oh, I already am using game.util. Task extensions, task when all. Should I rename this to signal awaiters instead? When all signal awaiters. What is going on? Oh, did the AI lead me astray? Let's do this. Task utils. Yeah, it created an extension method when that doesn't need to be. This is fine. Can I do private here? Does that work? Change the return type of method. Whatever. Okay, I have no clue if that's going to work. Probably not. I probably went through all that trouble for this not to work, but that's fine. That's okay. Goodness gracious. All right, let's see if this works. So it should await all those animations before it tries to do the actual alchemy combination. So let's see. No telling how many times AI told me something that was wrong. Yeah, it's useful in some cases, but for the most part, it's a little bit iffy. For the most part, it's a little bit iffy, but let's see. Alchemize cards, boom, boom. Oh, it worked. Look at that. I mean, the animation doesn't look great, but it worked. Oh, come on. I closed my editor on accident. It's not going to work less. Yeah, that's true. I usually regret after going third or fourth prompt with AI. Yeah. Although I have to say, like, the AI did this parabolic motion for me very easily. Although, yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess. Duration, height. Actually, I do want this to change. Oh, but it can't do a tween. It needs a duration. Oh, I see. I'll turn this down 0.5. Anyway, so that's correct. The problem is the start position card.card node.global position. I might want to move this into the card class itself. Shoot. Animations are where things start to get very messy. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Now I just got to figure out why the animations are looking a little bit weird. Here. Put this in there. That doesn't work because I don't have enough. It like gets snapped down here. That's not right. So there's a bunch of things that needs to happen here. Here comes Azir now. His turn to talk. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ah. Here he is. Are you talking? Say something in the mic. Say something in the mic. Oh, don't scratch. No, don't. Okay. Anyway. Go lay down. Oh, okay, bye. So this worked. I just gotta figure out why the animations are bad now. What I probably want to do actually is store the start position here, end position here, get this. and remove the card in here. So I'm storing the start position and end position. Oh, that's not gonna, is that gonna work? Var position is equal to card.card_node.global position. Card.card_node.global position is equal to position. So we just reset it there. Hopefully that will fix that issue. I think I do want to move the parabolic motion into the card class itself, so I can use that in other situations. As a matter of fact, I might use that here. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Alchemize these cards together. Why is that not working? I don't understand. Why is that not working? I'm gonna see what happens. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I always get tripped up on like animations for some reason, especially when I'm moving a bunch of things around in the tree. So if I click this, that works. So see how those didn't change position? So there's something in here that's wrong. Did the AI do the... After I just praised the AI for doing the parabolic motion correctly, it probably did something wrong. Start position, global position, end position, global position. We're doing a lerp between the X values. That's correct. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Start position.y minus height times 4 times... What is this? Global position, new vector 2, x parabolic y. Start position.y minus height. That's probably that height value. I'd be better off looking at how Gunforged did this. Let's take a look at Gunforged. I have an artillery bullet component, and the artillery bullets are using the parabolic motion here. Travel time, mathf.pow travel time. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the AI hard-coded a bunch of values here. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll just take this stuff and try to translate it over. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, travel time. We'll set this equal to duration. We'll get rid of this for now. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need that. We have the destination position, so we don't need that. Okay, range. Do I need the range here? Let's do a gravity var. Gravity is equal to 500. Y final. So this is destination.y. So Y final is animation card root.global position.y. Y initial is card.card_node.global position.y, which I actually have the start position, so this can be end position. End position, start position, range. I don't think I need this range. Initial velocity.x. Parabolic y. So this is my parabolic y here. Initial velocity.y divided by travel time. So I think the problem is doing this times t. Oh, I guess this is a different calculation. This times 4. Okay. I don't think this is going to work what I had in Gunforge because I did it based on initial velocities. The problem in here, though, is this is based on tween. So if it's a tween, it should just follow the arc that's defined by the parameters based on the t value. Whereas this was expecting to work on a frame-by-frame, like process method basis. Okay. All right. That's not going to work. Change this parabolic motion to accept a variable duration and gravity value. Gotta go drive to my afternoon school bus route. Be good. All right, sounds good, Adam. Thank you for joining. It was great to see you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hello, Dusty. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Azir. Azir. Yeah, stop. Thank you. Goodness. Azir, come on. Come here. I know, stop. I'm trying to stream. Okay, let's see if this works. So we've got gravity 500, duration, start delay. See if the AI did it correctly. I don't have the mental willpower right now to try to figure out the parabolic motion equations myself. I don't want to do it. Okay, that did not work. They just flew away. Oops. This doesn't work. The objects just fly straight up. Oops. We're just gonna make it so that the AI does it correctly. Why is it multiplying by 0.4? What are you doing? I don't know what it's doing. What are you doing? Let's see what happens. Almost. I guarantee you, though, if I change this gravity value, it's not going to work. I think it's doing hard-coded calculations. Here, I'm going to tell it. Don't do any hard-coded calculations. Derive all the numbers necessary from the variable inputs like gravity and start. Thank you. Do not do hard-coded multipliers, please. I see there's still a magic number. Okay. All right, this is your last chance, AI. Last chance. Now it's not doing any parabolic motion. Maybe my gravity is too small. The t is not the, maybe it's thinking that the t is the time variable when it's not. Maybe if I tell it that. Here, maybe I'll do this. T is not the time variable. It's the percent value. The duration is 0.5. Is the percent value representing lerp completion percent. The duration is 0.5 right now. Thank you. I think that's the problem that it's doing. It's assuming that t means time when it's not. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. That looks better. Why is it still using T? I just told you not to do it. Oh my gosh. Or unless T... maybe it was right. Maybe I was wrong. Because it just ended up doing the same thing, I think. I don't know. Let's see. What do you mean by parabolic motion? Isn't it done via set transition? No, I mean, I don't think you can do proper gravity-based parabolic motion. Basically, the idea of parabolic motion is given a start and end point and some input parameters like gravity. How long... Oh, wait, I guess that's a problem too. Is the duration needs to be derived from the gravity. That might be a problem, actually. So yeah, based on a couple of input parameters like your start and end position and the gravity value or the time in air, you can do a parabolic motion that applies gravity every frame and gives it a nice smooth arc. I'm trying to make this look very natural. Like things are just being chucked into the pot, you know? I could do it with a tween, but a tween doesn't look as natural when you're talking about parabolic motion. Yeah, that's wrong. Okay. I think what the problem is here. Problem. Change this to automatically the duration based on the input gravity and start and end positions. I think what I have going on here is that there's a conflict between the gravity and duration, I think. But we'll see. We will see. I think the AI maybe is just not understanding it. Don't clamp the duration. I didn't ask you to clamp the duration. I will handle that, sir. All right, let's see. I would really like if this worked. Let's see. Still not working. What in the heck, man? That's not even close to parabolic motion. What are you doing? This solution is not even close. It doesn't produce any kind of parabolic motion. Do better. Like, the cards didn't even, like, okay, so even if my inputs weren't correct and it doesn't produce an arc, it should still accelerate over time. Goodness gracious. I'm about to give up on this AI. Might just find like a math equation online, take a picture of it and say implement this equation in code. That would probably be more reliable. Alright, this is your last try, AI. This is your last try. I would have given up, yeah. First time seeing you use AI, is there a particular reason for using it? It does help in some cases, like writing shaders and stuff. Also, just being able to ask the AI things right in the editor is super useful. Okay, that's not even working at all. Also, the main reason I'm trying to familiarize myself with AI tools because that seems to be where the industry is slowly moving. And so I just want to be ahead of that. I have a former colleague of mine whose entire engineering department has switched to AI-assisted coding for everything. And he's a very senior engineer at his company. So I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve, get familiar with the tools, just gives me an edge whenever I need to find another job, you know? That's all. That's a big reason. I'm not leveraging the AI a whole lot, but for doing very basic things, it's useful. For doing this kind of thing, it's obviously not useful. So yeah, this whole thing is just not working. So I'm going to need to figure out a different way of doing this. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. So, but that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. Pretty good long stream, but I'm going to go take a break now. But yeah, it might... Oh no, okay. But yeah, if you want to support my work, again, you can check out the links in the description below. Those are where you can find my commercial game Gunforged and also my Udemy courses. Those are available for sale as well. Also, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. That's also very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone for watching and chatting with me today. And also thank you to the VOD watchers and lurkers out there. I know that you're out there. I know you enjoy these videos. I will not be streaming tomorrow morning again because I have another thing to do in the morning, but probably around the same time as today is when I'll be streaming. So like noon Eastern-ish. So stay tuned for that, I guess. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone, and have a good day. Bye-bye.